Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the UK Northern Powerhouse on Transport Fever 2. This is going to be episode number 50 in the series, a big 50, nice round number, and in this episode we're just going to be taking a look at what we've achieved so far, what we've got left to do, and just basically a little bit of housekeeping just to see where we're up to. Basically, we've just passed the Ribblehead Viaduct, which we built in the last episode. We built the line up from Leeds up to Dent, going past Settle on the what would be the Settle and Carlisle railway. We're just on board this northern service, just about to pull into Dent itself, which is the most northern station on this particular map. I thought I wanted to get Dent in just because of the Ribblehead Viaduct, which we'll take a little bit of a look at again just as we pull in. So it is quite a nice looking little journey now over this part of the railway. It's not something I've actually done in real life myself yet, but yeah, you can see there we just got there. I don't think actually in real life Dent station is actually near the town or the village. Maybe it does look a little bit further away, but in this instance it is next door. And this is the viaduct itself. I've done a little bit of terrain work since the last episode just to make it stand out a little bit more, because it is one of the bigger viaducts that I've allowed myself to build in this particular playthrough. And I think just to celebrate the viaduct itself, because it is a bit of a famous landmark. So yeah, done that bit of terrain work just to make it bed in a little bit better and to make it look as if it actually does need to be the viaduct that it is. And there's also that tunnel there as well. Again, trying to keep the tunnels in the correct places. We've got this northern service, which is actually quite busy on this route from Leeds up to Dent. I think most of the trains are pretty busy. Then we're all 4 cars, because some of them actually do get quite full. I'm not sure how many I've actually put on this particular service. What is it, 4? So I possibly could get away with another unit on that actually. We just go to there, and then the ones we can see, that's a 6-minute frequency. It's actually making a profit. That's nice to see. But if we take a look at what we've managed so far, we're still hemorrhaging money. A lot of the services which were pretty good, like the Darlington to Grantham, it's making a little bit of profit, but to begin with that was making like 16 million. So yeah, it is the build it and they will come sort of theory that I was working on really hasn't worked out as well as I'd hoped. Some of the services are a bit weird, because like the Manchester Airport to Darlington, that when it gets into Manchester Victoria, that's good. One is just coming into Manchester Victoria. Manchester Airport to Darlington, you can see 158 people want to go to Huddersfield, but it must just be on the rest of the route. It's really not making or carrying that many passengers, unfortunately, which isn't good, but we've got sandbox mods, so we don't need to worry too much. But what I wanted to do was just take a look. I want to start in the northwest, top right northwest corner of the Max map. So we've got Dent in, we've got Oxenholme done, down to Lancaster, then down to Preston. Obviously we've got the Settle and Carlisle railway in, down to Skipton, and then into passes Ilkley and Bradford on its way into Leeds, coming down further. Haven't quite got Southport. What have we got left to do actually? We've got the route into Kendal, Barrow-in-Furness, Blackpool needs to be linked up to Preston. We've got Southport, so the rest of the Merseyrail network going from Southport down to Liverpool South Parkway needs to be built, and the other ends of the line as well, going to Kirkby and Ormskirk. So we've still got the Merseyrail network to build, and across to West Kirkby as well to put in. And we've got a couple of other routes from Southport across to Wigan and Ormskirk as well, up to Preston it would be, wouldn't it? So yeah, still a little bit to do. I think in the live stream that I did a couple of episodes back, I did say that we're about 2/3 the way through, maybe 3/4 possibly, but the more you get into it, the more you see there's little bits missing. But I think this for Wales, I think Wales is pretty much done. We've got Wrexham, we've got Crewe to Shrewsbury via Whitchurch to do, which isn't Wales, but it's on the Welsh border. Welshpool's been connected up, and then Stafford Stoke. Now there is... No, that will just go straight into Stoke. No, straight into Stafford like that. I think there is a bypass round Stafford, isn't there? Possibly. But obviously it wouldn't have anywhere to go, so we're not going to include that. We've got crew into Stoke. We've got to build the crew up to Manchester via Stockport and Manchester Airport line to get that connected up so we can get the Avanti services. If you remember, I said I wasn't going to put in the Avanti service via Macclesfield and Stoke just because it's replicating the cross-country service. So what I'll do instead, the Avanti service will be Manchester, crew, and then Stafford. So I'll go that way instead. Glossop's all linked up because that's still on. We've still got the Woodhead route even in 2020, even though I don't think... Have I got any services on the Woodhead route? No, I haven't. I thought I saw a person waiting at Penistone then, but obviously not. So Penistone needs to be connected. Oh yeah, we completely... When we rebuilt Sheffield Approach and Rotherham, we disconnected Penistone from the network, so that town must have actually contracted a little bit. So that needs reconnecting. The Woodhead route, I think, needs demolishing, and a service. Actually, we can do that now because that really should be quite straightforward. I think it is almost just like a shuttle from Manchester Piccadilly into Glossop and then back again. That'll be a northern service. Northern, and I'll just hopefully I've got my map still open. We'll take a look at that in a minute, just to remind us of the services. So that will be, say, what is it? Manchester Piccadilly is MAN, Glossop is GLO, like so. What platform's that going into? Is that sharing a platform? Actually, what's that? Northern Manchester. That's why are you going into that platform? No, you want to be on something like platform number 1. That's better, and it's going to have to be probably a light blue just so it sticks out against the rest of them. So that's all fine. Can I get a train from here? Don't think I can. There's a switch there, and a switch there, and there. No, it's not gonna... Why is that? Let's just change the colour of that because I think... Oh right, yeah, so we've got that switch there, so we should be able to get him from here. So it's got to be, I don't know, a northern something or other. What do we want? A 158 maybe, or a 156. That's where we're going. 156, something in the northern variety. So Reva, no, it's going to be, yeah, we'll just stick with, I'm pretty sure there is a plain northern, but can't find it, so we'll just stick with that for now. We'll go with 2 cars, and I think we'll go with 2 units as well, so we'll just stick that on. Put the maintenance up to 25%. I'm just going to schedule these, and then we will get on with the rest of the looking at what we've achieved. So what we're doing, it's a Manchester to Glossop service, and then I'll put the other one on when he's arrived at Glossop, so it's hopefully spread out enough. Okie dokie, so we've got that shuttle in between Manchester and Glossop now. I don't think it probably doesn't need 2 trains, but I thought I'd put 2 on anyway, just so it's a nice rapid link between those 2 places, and hopefully Glossop should start to grow a little bit. It's probably contracted since I got rid of the Woodhead route, or stopped serving the Woodhead route, so most of this track, I'm not sure, I assume this track here will be non-existent now, won't it? So it'll just be what used to be there, the track bed maybe a little bit visible possibly. Yeah, we'll just get rid of that. So the Woodhead route unfortunately has gone. It just wasn't compatible with the new entrance or the new approach into Sheffield. Let's just get some of the paint, let's just get rid of that. So yeah, I was umming and ahhing about it for a long time, but when we kind of did the work that we did around Sheffield, it just turned out that it wasn't really practical in the end anyway. So we'll get rid of that, do a little bit of smoothing, and get rid of, I think we'll get rid of that signal. I don't think we need that many, but this can be a one-way. What is that? No, it's a light signal. I thought it might have been a semaphore. And get rid of the electrification as well, can't we? So tracks, get rid of what remains of a little bit of electrification that's there, and that's all fine. So that's got a nice good, I don't know, wow, look at the game just building wherever it wants. Not, where would this belong to? Doesn't say. Residential building doesn't say where it actually belongs to, but yeah, it does some weird things sometimes. You just random developments like that. So where were we? So we've done most of the northwest now, going across the Pennines. Burnley, you need connecting up, as does Rochdale's connected. Bolton is connected by a little bit of a shuttle currently into Victoria, but obviously that needs a railway into Preston and Wigan, perhaps, I'm thinking, maybe. And then we've got Halifax, Huddersfield, Bradford, Leeds, Wakefield, both of Wakefield stations connected up. Harrogate still needs connecting up to somewhere. Where does that connect to? That connects up to Harrogate, actually should go. Now that's interesting. Do I need to move Harrogate? So there should be a Leeds, Harrogate, York service. So I think I might actually need to move, potentially. I will double check the rail route anyway, but I don't think it should be there for some reason. But yeah, so we've still got that to do. All of this is connected up now, Middlesbrough into Darlington, Whitby down to Scarborough. We've got the Mark 5 Nova 3 units now on that route. Is there one nearby? Is there one? There's one. Is it? No, that's a what is that? It's an 800. No. Yeah, so all of, I think this area is finished, isn't it? I think. I don't think there's a line from... There's no line. Oh yeah, no there is. Darlington, Middlesbrough down to Whitby needs finishing. I haven't built that line, have I? Yes I have. No, it's there. What am I talking about? That was one of the very first lines. It just doesn't follow the coast. It goes over that quite mountainous region there. So that's in place. What else have we got to do? Bridlington, that's all done. Hull, we've just got the Gaul and Selby sections. They need to be connected. Now Selby's got a station. I think there's just the Gaul needs to be connected to that junction there, and then into that junction there. So that's not a really big job to do. We've got Scunthorpe, Barnet, Market Raisin and Gainsborough still need to be connected up to something. We've got most of the infrastructures there, like the junctions and things I've already put in place to make my life a little bit easier. Not sure, is there another Retford station or is it just the one? I think there's a line that we need to come into from Sheffield across. I think that junction there needs to come into Retford, and then there's a service going to my map which is Retford, Gainsborough, Lee Road, and then into Lincoln. And then we've got Lincoln needs to be connected up to Newark, to Lincoln, Market Raisin. So yeah, we've got that to do down here. What have we got? Swine's Head, Sleaford, that's all connected up. So I think, actually having a look, other than maybe HS2 and HS3, we might be about 3/4 of the way through. Might stretch up to about 60 episodes perhaps, looking at what we've got to do so far. It's amazing just how much we've actually got done. If we actually look at, actually I'll tell you what, we'll go over to, I've built a new shiny headquarters. Before we do that, I've put Liverpool Airport, Liverpool John Lennon Airport has now been built and is carrying one passenger. I've put in a bus service between John Lennon and Liverpool South Parkway. I have built it quite far away. I didn't appreciate just how far away kind of Liverpool John Lennon Airport is from Liverpool South Parkway, considering Liverpool South Parkway is supposed to be the rail connection to the airport. It is quite a distance and you'd still have to get a bus to the airport. So this is actually being used for some reason. I'm never entirely sure why people choose to get on and off here. Maybe coming from Runcorn, perhaps wanting to go to the Warrington Central, maybe, but it just seems strange that sometimes these stations in the middle of nowhere sometimes actually do get used for various reasons. So we've got that, and what I wanted to show you was the nice shiny headquarters in Liverpool where this all started, because we started with the Liverpool and Manchester Railway, and we can actually take a look. So I think assets, I don't think that's really tells you too much. But if we look at our road vehicles, we've got 22 trams, we've got 141 trains, 212 road vehicles, so we do actually have more buses and trucks than we do trains, which is interesting. We don't, I guess with each of the shuttles, it certainly quickly starts to add up, and we've got 11 ships and 4 aircraft currently. So we've got Manchester Airport to East Midlands Airport, and we've got Liverpool John Lennon to the East Midlands Airport as well. We've got 2 aircraft on each of those, and obviously we've got to build Leeds Bradford Airport. The top speed achieved is 514, which will be one of the aircraft. top train length 247 metres, oldest vehicle 119 hours. That doesn't really tell us a great deal if I'm honest, so let's go to the date. If we change that, will that change? 147 years old. What is 147 years old, I wonder? Is there a way to tell? So if we go to all vehicles, condition very good, no, the other way around, mediocre. I would really like to know what vehicle is 100 and whatever. Possibly might be one of the barges or one of the ships, I'm assuming. Can I drag this out? Can I make it any bigger? No. Let's just untick that for a minute because that's just in our way. So we've got every single vehicle that we've got, so they're all modern clearly, as are all those. That's modern, that's all modern. Why aren't you scrolling? Buses are modern. I haven't got any old buses on the route, I don't think. The trucks are all modern. I mean, that's an old older one, but it's still not that old. It's got to be, why all? Yeah, I mean all, because I put 25% maintenance on the vehicles, that they're always mediocre anyway, but apparently that's one of the oldest vehicles. Maybe, I don't know if that's the oldest vehicle we've ever had working on the network, or the oldest active vehicle, but never mind. Total tracks, we've got 687 kilometres of track, total electrified track 282 kilometres of electrified track, again highest. Total high speed track 586 kilometres of high speed, bridges 23 kilometres of bridges and 21 kilometres of tunnels. We've transported 846,784 units of cargo, that'll mostly be oil and fuel, and passengers in total we've transported 7,184,200 and rising very quickly, so you can see we are on fast, but I think even if I put the game on 1x speed, this number is rapidly increasing, so we are transporting a heck of a lot of passengers, which is good, but not really reflecting in profit. Cargo transport the last 12 months, 600 odd passengers in the last 12 months, 19,000 passengers on 109 lines in total. Let's look at the charts. Tracks has been a nice steady incline. I think recently, because I've just been doing a little bit of housekeeping, it has plateaued a little bit, but that will increase again. And town growth has been nice, steady upward growth there, plateauing again. But as you build anything, this just continues to go out of the balance. Just ignore the balance, because yeah, we are just losing all that money. So yeah, stand low. Why are you struggling? Because what I did off camera actually is, this has been a perennial problem which it just keeps returning now every time, is these two trains. I did have a single line section between these two stations, which is a bit of a problem because stations act as block sections, so they were just like facing off like a standoff and getting stuck. So I've put actually 3 sections of track on this in the end just to make this work better. Obviously that has had a good upward impact on our fuel production, because I guess that was with the trains kind of having us face off all the time, it was having a negative impact on our fuel deliveries. Now, are you full? You should be. No, you're not. I don't understand that. If we've got so much fuel waiting there, why aren't they going out full? Now let's just configure this. Platforms, let's just see, and I don't know if that'll work if I'm honest, but can I just stick a, or does that just, no, that's just another platform, isn't it? No, not a lot I can do about that, we'll just have to chuck it in the sea. Let's just take a look at the actual route itself. So when you come into stand low, you want to be fully loaded. You don't want to leave until you're fully loaded. Yeah, that's right. So hopefully, and there is space to stack like the train in if one is waiting, so that's not an issue. What sort of production are we doing here? Production is rubbish. That is really, really strange. I would have thought with these two working more efficiently, maybe the actual delivery of the oil is just a bit too sporadic. Maybe if it's coming in 2 great big lumps of 600. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause this train here once he's dropped off. Yeah, I mean he's not even anywhere near full. So we'll let him drop off. Maybe they are just a bit too close together, because that production is just awful considering how much is being delivered or potentially being delivered. So yeah, just let him empty the cargo. I'm going to pause that, and then I'm going to speed the game up and just wait for this one to get to Stanlow, and then I'll let him go again. Maybe try and space out the deliveries a little bit more, see if that helps. Okie dokie, so the other unit's back at Stanlow now. He's just unloading some of the fuel he's got because that gets taken to Birkenhead. So I'm going to release that unit, and hopefully we should start to see a little bit of an improvement with the situation here. The deliveries should be a lot more consistent than they are being, because of what we're producing, 368, we've only transported 71%, which is, I just find it a little bit strange considering we've got these 2 units on, which aren't, you know, they're quite long, you know, 240 odd metres, 240 litre capacity or unit capacity. So yeah, we've left a little bit behind, but hopefully the other one will pick that up. So yeah, I mean, episodes like this, although they're not as exciting as the building ones, if exciting is the right word, they are important to do. Now what I wanted to do as well was just have a look at this. Now I wondered if I could have an overview of how my transport lines are performing, and I've just put that right up there. And stations, we could just have a look at this. Selby must have people waiting, does it? It's got 300 and whatever. You are just a 2-158, that's not good. Selby Goal, no, that's Bradford Interchange to Hull. I'm going to upgrade these to 4-car multiple units, 158. I've probably gone past it twice, haven't I? No, 158, and we want a northern one of some sort of direction. With northern, no, we'll just go with northern. Add, and add. So we'll upgrade those, make sure they're on 25%. So that's going to increase the capacity running into these, but also I think something happened with one of the units, and for some reason I took one off, because I think that service really does deserve to have 4 vehicles on it. So add, no, that's the wrong one. I thought it saved the position of what we had. Northern, 2 of them, buy one of them, make sure it's 25%, and then it wants to be on the northern to Bradford Interchange to Hull. So we'll put a 4th unit on that. Is he coming out? Yeah, he is. So that I think that definitely deserves a 2nd unit. We'll transport a few of these passengers, get a few more of these passengers transported. Yeah, 276. That's going to take I think even having the 4-car units probably wouldn't get them shifted quick enough, so that's better. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, was just double check the town statistics basically. So we've got a good, because that, if you've only got a good quality on your stations, then you've got minus 10% on the growth factor, so starts to reduce the size of your town a little bit. So it's something I haven't looked at actually within this particular info screen here, but it is really handy just to be able to see that at a glance if any are just performing good, because you want them to all be very good, so you don't get any of that reduction in passengers or reduction in town size. So we've got those on 4 units. I think it's probably enough for that. Hopefully, maybe even encourage Hull to grow a little bit potentially, because that should, well, I was saying that it's going down, shouldn't go down, it shouldn't go down, it should go up. Yeah, it's gone up a little bit there, I think. So yeah, so actually all in all we're doing pretty good. We've got that. I solved the issue with Manchester Victoria being really busy. I put an extra service from Darlington from Manchester Airport on, so hopefully some pretty good passenger loadings here, but it's not really been reflected in the profitability. So that's all fine. We don't have any particular issues. Let's just check Stanlow again, make sure, you know, that's starting to come down. I think they were just bunched too closely together. The game doesn't like, I think, deliveries and pickups being in like massive lump sums. So if you've got 600 being taken and delivered, it just doesn't work. So we're back up now. Production is increasing again. Transporting, I think transport is still quite low, which I find a little bit strange. And I'm not going to put on a 3rd unit, because that just would be a little bit overkill, I think, and it would take up too much space. And these coming in, so these are coming in full now, so that's fine. Birkenhead Tranmere Oil Terminal, what are we doing there? We're shipping 100% of everything that's being made there, and if we go up to Barrow and Furness, we've got this as well. We're shipping 94%, which I don't, considering how far these barges have to go. I don't think that's too bad. So yeah, we're in a better position, and hopefully that will improve our deliveries to Liverpool and Manchester and Leeds. We're only delivering 300 of what 30% of what they need, but I think it'd be very difficult to increase that because I don't think production is really, we've got trucks standing and waiting for another delivery of oil, so we're sending out as much as we physically can with regards to fuel. So there's not much more we can do with that, unfortunately. Never mind. So that's all fine. What's Manchester Piccadilly looking like? Looking all good. Where's that Glossop? 2 passengers. That would be a bit better than that, but never mind. So there, yeah, I think definitely 3/4. Potentially, I think HNAV with HS2 is a bit more tricky because it kind of comes from over here, and obviously it does go up to Crewe and then on to Manchester and up towards, I think it'd be just about here, south of Wigan, just after this junction here. What I did in the last one I did was I built a town kind of outside. I think I might just build a station here and then have like a really rapid bus service into it, because it's not going from Stafford up to Crewe isn't really that far. But having said that, it is quite interesting, and it's all part of the future network, and that would run off Manchester and then into Manchester Piccadilly and the bit of the eastern branch of HS2. Now where does that go? I think it does go somewhere near the East Midlands Airport. It's been revised, so there is a connection into Sheffield, and then there's a link directly into Leeds, and then there's a connection into the East Coast Main Line for service to travel north. So yeah, I could build actually a substantial part of the HS2 network. It'd be interesting to build the northern sections of it, and then that does allow us to build HS3, because a little bit of it around particularly the airport where HS2 comes from. So it comes from the east of Stafford, comes round, goes underneath Crewe. There's a junction here south of Crewe to allow services to call at Crewe, but there's a tunnel underneath. It comes out of the tunnel, runs up towards Manchester Airport. There's a station around here, and then it makes like a hard right as it comes into Manchester, but there's another branch which comes off up here somewhere and then into the West Coast Main Line. But what I was trying to get to is what is envisaged is that the Liverpool to Manchester section of HS3 or Northern Powerhouse Rail, or whatever you want to call it, will use the tunnel which goes underneath Manchester to Manchester Piccadilly. So there's going to be a junction here as well. So HS2 is a crucial part of any HS3 future proposal. And what it does do is it allows us to have a little bit of a guess. It could be a little bit of fun guessing where the HS3 route goes to. Unless there's an announcement. I can't see an announcement coming anytime this year on HS3, if I'm honest. So I think it'd be interesting to have a little bit of a guess of where any HS3 route might eventually go. So yeah, I think we will build it. I think the computer's coping, especially since I upgraded the system. We are only getting 29-ish frames per second, but the computer, it's still running okay considering how much we're running on the actual computer itself, on this map rather. So there we are, there's a little bit of an update. I think it's important to do these sorts of episodes, and like I said, I will have by now hopefully uploaded the save file to Steam, so you can have a good look at that. Now what are you? You are a Liverpool to Warrington Bank Key. What I wanted to do is find a service. What are you? You're a Liverpool to Manchester Airport. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave you with a journey. I'm going to leave you with one of the very first journeys we probably did, was Liverpool to Manchester, because obviously we did the Liverpool to Manchester Railway very early on, and I just think it'd be interesting to see, or for you to see, how things have changed over that time, so you get a good view of the route and all the different changes we've made, particularly to Manchester, which is just a mess now. Look at it. I mean, it's good that all of these trains are kind of coexisting on this section of track, but it really is. The queue into Manchester Piccadilly is particularly bad at times. What are you doing? You're overtaking something. What are you? Alright. You could potentially be 4 cars. No, that's all fine. So yeah, I'm going to pause the game actually, because I just found the train that I was going to be using. So we're going to be on board this, what is it? 3 something. Why isn't it saying what it is? I don't know, 3-1. No, I'm not even going to guess because I'll just get it wrong. So it's an electrical multiple unit. Let's have a look. 321, 323. It's 323, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to leave it on board, this 323, going to Manchester Airport via St Helens and obviously Manchester City Centre. So I'm going to leave you with that, and I'm going to say until next time, bye bye.